Freddy vs. Jason is either the most brilliant film idea ever, or the dumbest. But no matter which way you look at it, we can all agree that it does not disappoint. First, a little history. The finale of Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, showed Freddy Krueger's glove pulling Jason's mask into the ground. The film Freddy vs. Jason was originally intended to be released in the late 80s and 90s, but was in a development crisis. New Line Cinema decided to first release Wes Craven's New Nightmare in 1994, and the 10th Friday the 13th film, Jason X, in 2001. Freddy vs. Jason finally came along in 2003. Now let me just emphasize that even after Scream was released in 1996, the slasher genre seemed to be finished. So how does this film's attempt to beat a dead horse with another dead horse work out? Let's find out. Robert Englund appears as Freddy for the last time in cinema. He's upset because the teens of Springwood don't believe in him enough to mark his return. So he tricks Jason to come from Crystal Lake to strike fear into the hearts of those on Elm Street, thus making their dreams accessible once again. Only problem is that Jason doesn't want to stop killing people. Now Freddy has to take his territory back. Let the throwdown begin. Although this film came out way past the slasher's prime, I will say that this is a relatively clever concept. I mean, I can't think of a better way to bring these two together. How about you? Now, in my normal reviews, I would usually take this time to discuss the actors in this film. So let's discuss. All the characters are dull, unappealing, and forgettable. All the actors that portray them are dull, unappealing, and forgettable. Phew! Glad that's out of the way. Because the only reason you would see Freddy vs. Jason is to see Freddy vs. Jason, am I right? Robert Englund once again does phenomenal as Freddy. Always a wise ass, just as you would expect. Ken Kirzinger plays Jason, but he doesn't talk and wears a mask, so I guess I've said the extent of what can be said about his performance, although his stunt work is pretty good. Freddy and Jason beat the hell out of each other, and you gotta love every minute of it. They go from Elm Street to Jason's dreams and to Camp Crystal Lake. There's pints of blood, machete wounds, slash marks, bruises, and broken bones. They both play to each other's weaknesses, and this keeps the fighting intense and fun. And since no one really wants to see their preferred slasher lose, the ending is kept ambiguous and humorous. The kills are a great highlight of the film, too. Jason has some really brutal ones. He breaks a teen's neck, flipping his head backwards. He stabs a teen in bed repeatedly, and then snaps the mattress upwards, thus snapping the corpse in half. He even impales a chick with his machete, skewering her to a tree. Just proof that you never mess with Jason. Unfortunately for the die-hard Freddy fans, you don't get much. I think he only gets like 3 kills, and none of them are anywhere near as impressive as Jason's. To conclude, Freddy vs. Jason is definitely worth at least one viewing. The brawls and kills are exciting and memorable, but the story is relatively bland, and the characters are completely forgettable. I'd only recommend this one to those that are fans of the Nightmare and Friday series, because you'll get exactly what you want. Freddy vs. Jason. I don't think this film rekindled the flame of the slasher genre, but I think it did give one last respectable hurrah to both franchises. That is my diagnosis, and more Flamingo Halloween is on the way.